Yeah, they might not be able to sustain internet operation because you have to understand when they did the internet thing for the phone. Yeah, it was almost as if your internet itself was like the app store. Yeah, the commercial space where they go off and sell you the ringtones. And some of the fancy stuff that's being produced by certain clubs on the side over here. And some of the musicians that are like amateurs, but then go off and like spend their time over here inside of a studio over here working for a certain company or group to go off and produce music for them for like rentals and other stuff on the space stuff. Now, because again, so the way you have to pay attention to the models that they were using to go off and represent their products on the space and to like what they want to like showcase to you. So whenever you have to see that guy over there with the sunglasses and he's on vacation with a Hawaiian shirt or something like that, yeah, he's on the beach chair, and then he has his girl right next door to him. That's all. Yeah, these were like I don't know, the early influencers that they were using inside that commercial space here. Yeah, that part of the telecom system over there. No, because again, the telecom system over there is part of a business system. That's way to like receiving orders from a distance around the space. So it's way to like using energy transmission to then go off and book tickets for like clubs or like stuff that's way to like music. And they tap out entertainment around the space. That's way to like certain activities. They put the guy within these paints to go off and paint his rule around the space. It's the type of activity that they were doing inside. That was like a luxury for like the sound of telco goods. Yeah, on the space the bikini sector. So yeah, you had the bikini sector over there. It was your first commercial space for your phone and your internet for your phone over there, which was probably like far worse than AOL when it came to like an interface due to the low graphical system that you had on the phone over. So by the time I'm over there troubleshooting a blue screen on my computer system due to heat over there, so the only terminal that I have to go off and look at that code over there is offline, and then the next terminal that I get access to. Yeah, is there like a institution, a library, or like a friend that's like living like maybe like 12 cities away, or like maybe 12 block or something like that. Yeah, and then somewhere, yeah, I like that over here. It's just a computer that I have to go off and figure out real quickly, and then try to go off and like figure out what the error is. If I can't figure out, then eventually I might have to like take it to a computer repair shop on this person. Because apparently I can't boot up the computer system to then go off on other parts, and I can go off on like even use the phone to go off on other parts because of the fact that back then that technology was not even there. It was outdated, and then eventually you had no site to go off and support it on the space. So it can't even be in the boards over here. I'm gonna have to like look at the code, like see if other people got it. It's somebody else before you fell to go off and like give you the experience, like somewhat survive, adapt into my own space. Yeah, so somewhere you get used to like things. That's way to like getting stuck doing the same thing for like the entire day. That's way to like fixing the problem, and get used to like being patient on the space. And by the time I'm done over here and my system goes up, and then that's why you learn to go off and like have extras on the space, extra hard drives, extra motherboards, extra system, whatever you can expend as a resource. You keep it there just in case of an emergency. So when something goes bad, you just go off and boot it up on the space. Yeah, well, I just got lucky that the era shifted into like an integrated graphical unit system for like motherboards and like CPU systems. So by the time I'm gonna go off and get a couple bad graphic cards, yeah, immediately boot up the system. Yeah, it's not to go off and use a browser. Yeah, and then have access to the internet while I do so off like the CPU system or without using the graphical system. Yeah, and then from then on, the dance was very easy inside of doing space. Like troubleshooting, especially on fixing your own errors and problems that you have with your own machine system that you pay for, like your car or something. If I go out to replace the entire thing and then getting used to and getting into go off and learn some new things and experiences that people don't have access into, because you have an energy that's way to being young and persistent on the special. So yeah, so you don't want to like keep your mind and your head active. Yeah, to then go off and waste the energy to go off and like somewhat fix or paint an entire car over there. The older way is busy with like fine for like his breath, and also saw the problems that he has on the system. Again, I tell you, not all old people are bad, but that particular group that hit me over there, that's like they made everybody look like shit. No, so I try to isolate them and finally group them up and see what they look like. Yeah, and then eventually win their cases out of calls for them. Yeah, the disses. Yeah, this is the assistant. No, back then, due to PTSD, the way I used to come into the house, we had to go off like sniff out whether or not Yeah. No, because I had to change my layout when they started living with me. Because I remember back then, I'll go off like, let me get up on the house here. Yeah, go off like scan the house for like intruders. More people, yeah. Well, I said again, that group came out of nowhere, and then they hit the one nerve over here with a whole bunch of like female drug dealers. Yeah, gang bosses around this place and stuff. And then eventually the dude will use me over there as like an older, more well-established person to then go off and like get closer to pussy on the space. I try to tell that nigga over there that I'm bigger than surface. Well, not bigger than the vagina. So, well, I'm the dick into my things that I took off and pierced to the heavens. Yeah, I left the apartment over there to go off and look for dragonfly wings. Gone with the wind. Yeah, so by the time I'm like the summit over here, that pierce that divides the space over. No, the vagina is pretty big because of the fact that it contain it's the chamber. Yeah, it's a cryogenic chamber over here for the next life form to come through. And then lift up this chair over there. What's up after me? Yeah, so that's what makes the vagina over here always so powerful. It's your respawn space over here until you domain infinity to go off and play Dark Soul. So by the time you play Dark Soul on real hardcore mode, like the time period, like the spawn time is like years, and not even minutes. It's like yeah, and eventually the save file that you have over here is long gone, and then the world that you're in over here changed, and the mechanic of the game all changed or something. Yeah, you can be born under a work or something like that, or like be born in the streets of like chat or like the specific be born for like a young mother over here that has money problem, and then eventually people just don't trust around the special because they too have money problems and other things around the special. So by the time she come to, yeah, and eventually she's looking for a space here to go for like someone hold a kid. If she can't find the church around the things like that, she has a child in the streets, and depending on how cruel the community, not even cruel, depending on how ignorant the community is to not be able to like properly handle things like birth care and stuff and myself. Yeah, I say so many stories from watching females go off and have children in public. That's how like even dump them all the stuff and stuff. That's way to like a real life itself due to the laws of physics and the space law that I described. That's way to like things that you have no control over because of the fact that you have to remember that once the system is created, just like that branch over here myself. Yeah, the branch come from another branch, but still follow the laws of physics where it has to go off and like find extra resources or try to squeeze out the resource that it has to go off and sustain a new branch on the space side. Yeah, and if that new branch does not have the resource that it needs, then somewhere the tree is going to have to make a determination into like what to cut off on the space side. But as time goes by, the two branches are fine. They turn into like a new stump on the space side, and then somewhere. That branch create a new branch on the special. Yeah, so why create a new branch over here and then it's busy over here with new branches. The branches down here. Yeah, not true logic because the branches down here might still be healthy on the space, but in the real world logic over here. That's all. As you build a new structure that has a new strength, the old structure itself starts to like fall apart. If you can go off and like re-strengthen or like rejuvenate stuff and I said, then that's when you obtain the infrastructure crumble over time for like structures. Yeah, why build new structures on top of it, and then until you get to see what it looks like, it doesn't look like something that's new because new things take like a fire. Yeah, to go off and sacrifice it, then go off and like somewhat sacrifice it because it's gonna become the old branch. Let's face it, that then not even within 2 decades or something. Yeah, less than 2 decades. You get that infrastructure will become almost useless. Yeah, so the thing you keep track of is just the flow of the energy. That's way to like the muscle at the time or something into like all its use on vigor. Yeah, well, I said, I don't know, man. I ended up with a wet core of females. Now to do go off like look at my dick size and then actually the nose over. And the wordness, I tried to tell the chick over, yeah, you're not her over, beat it into my face and then she her male over. That's like mad weird into my wordness. Yeah, no, over the cyberspace with a word cult that believe in like technology and stupid ass shit from last 12 months. So I tried to tell the whole world that a nigga over here is problems, and then eventually he has bad luck, beat it, and so. And then I told the nigga over here that yo, I'm a big boy over here. The thing that I put my eyes into is bigger than anything that you've seen around the space. It's bigger than Tesla. It's bigger than AI. It's bigger than a whole bunch of stuff around the space. No, it's bigger than Facebook into my office specifically. So by the time I was supposed to be established around the space, if I materialize properly, I don't really want to see. Most likely I'll be somewhere inside my lair. Inside my tier, somewhere inside my house, just like playing video games or something like that. When I'm still like 42 or some shit. Yeah, and probably going off to like check out who's the next babe over here in Miami. That's going to do the porn expo in New Jersey. Right? And go like, yo, who's the new chick over here with the implants? Yeah, well, I said about the end of the day, I don't know, man. I never put a whole bunch of like men children, and men grandpas and grandma girls. So I try to tell them split. Stop fucking affiliated and coming back inside my story. But they keep on doing the same thing over and over and over. I'm like, oh my god, somebody kamikaze into my story. Before I could go off, I become fully mature. You know, especially I was like a grand fucking figure on a dragon. To go off, I create my own cult underneath my skyscraper. I'm sharing on especially. Yeah. No, even charity. I had to go off and hide charity. I couldn't talk to family, all that stuff. I have to, and things that's like sensitive to me. I hide it so that other people don't see it. Man, especially so I don't really talk to like family, siblings, nothing like that. Yeah, I keep that until we meet privately, and then whatever I need to tell them, like go off and do specifically, they get to hear it from my mouth directly. And now I have a phone over here, and I go off and be monitored by like a whole bunch of like mentally ill people. Yeah. Well, again, there's a reason why I got $0 in my pocket, and then I'm able to go off and like spend the entire day over here, to go off and sleep. Yeah, I did my homework early, and then I make the men pay me money, and then the men try to go off and lock me inside a class, go off and tell me shit. Inside of his own system, I tell him like, yo, listen, he said, you heard that ringing in my ears? Yeah, I get paid by your system for that. Yeah, I try to improve the condition, and for 5 years, as the reporter over myself, and then your crew over there, your lame ass people, someone did more damage to my ears. Now the ringing is louder. Do you think I want to wear hearing aids? I'm 35 or 48. Well, now I got to wear hearing aids over here to go for like a stabilized noise on the special. Yeah, so I don't get distressed around the space because I said when it was time for them to go off like make my ears itch or hurt on the space, do you know what they were doing? They were mocking it over the internet, telling everybody that they were making his ear tingle, and then they were expecting me to go off like scratch my ears around the space while I was sleeping. Me over there, I didn't want to play into nothing, so I just ignored them while I was pretending to sleep. And then I knew what they do on the special, so I go off like somewhat not play into it to go off like I give them a reaction and then go off and get them more excited on the special, so then they could go off like I continue what they're doing on an extreme level on all spaces, and then while I'm in the hotels. So I said by the end of the day, I didn't ask for that. No, all things for you. These are your own people. That was their own ambition. It just happened that was the men. Yeah, that was in between them and their ambition around the special. Yeah, I don't really care about their ambition. I was like, yo, listen, I'm working on something that's really big around the special. I don't care about you, so I just gonna go off and do this and into my thing special. And that's how I handle them. And the next thing I heard is that I was like, oh my god, people are dying. I was like, well, where did this fight come from? I don't know. I keep on disengaging, but the system keeps on re-engaging on the special. I'm like, well, the only way to sort this out, if we're into a grand conclusion, is that again, this day was not given to me. I had to fight for it. Yeah, my lungs I had to go off and breathe to like air, and I go off and make it feel slow into morphing specifically. And I had to go off and like be like, yo, control the muscle over there to make sure that it doesn't skip when they go off and do random noises around the special to make you jump. So I cannot get a heart attack, rip out the muscle that's been weakened intentionally. They weaken it over time with like gases and chemicals, and then which is something they try to make you a quick jolt, a quick motion over to go off and get your muscle to go off and go. Yeah, so it takes a lot of good breathing technique and like awareness to go off and make sure that you don't get your heart ripped out by like a psychological warfare, mixing with like chemical warfare, especially because coincidentally, the same way that dude that tried to kill Trump was like work for NASA, and he was part of a mathematical club. Well, coincidentally, the people that I met in that naval yard over here that go off and be the part of the class that I was in we go off and be part of mathematical clubs and like some that's like NASA interns. Yeah, and like other things that's way to like the things they talk about the internet, things that's way to like talking points, all sorts of stuff from left to up. So all be directed right back at them. It's a more offensive ideology that they believe into. Yeah, no, again, because you have certain veterans that go off and like think that they're intelligent because they hire them to go off and regurgitate course materials. That's already been written. You have to understand they didn't go out and like someone build like study or like research and stuff for them. All they do is obtain a manual and they go off and they represent it as if they were like class people, man, and they all feel smart. Yeah, that's special. So by the time they give him a keyboard to go off and like think that we're like brothers or friends or something, I try to tell the dude, we're like, yo, listen, your job that guy in San Diego, that was optional for me into more things. The reason why I picked it up is because of the fact that I felt patriotic into more things especially, but then eventually you disgusted me by just like someone invading my privacy. And then just the same way you're doing it today, you're telling everybody what I was doing outside of work. People that I don't even know, people I'm not even friends with, I didn't feel safe around there. So then I threw your job right in your fucking face and tell you fuck you in your face and feel like disrespecting me by invading my fucking privacy. And they'll have to tell everybody that I'm like fucking I don't know, jerking off to like futas over the new release or like rabies or something like that. Yeah, so I told you fucking in your face and I wanted to look for another job where they didn't do drug testing every once in a while on a special. I could still work as an electrician and then go off and get my dick sucked without someone being limited by working inside the federal. Let them tell me that I can't smoke weed, I can't go off and get my dick sucked around the special. And they won't go off like illegally be in my house without my consent to monitor me 24/7. So now I went to work inside the civilian sector. Glad they accepted. And by the time I was doing well, these niggas still came too. And then eventually someone created a nuisance for me. Now I'm waking up loud and ringing my ears with. I thought, that's your argument right there, Mrs. Judy. That's who go off and tell me shit about law and order, respecting the law. I was like, well, what part of respecting the law? It's like, yo, you cannot go off and use this equipment over here. That's not being approved by the FDA to intentionally target it. Like somebody that's not even your friend, also not even your friend, also a random stranger that you randomly saw driving around San Diego over here. What's up? To then go off and like find this place where he sleeps and then go off and like point that system at him and then intentionally go off and make his ears burn on this face out. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, man. It's like someone had to like spell out the dictionary for like people and then eventually be able to spell out what type of crime they committed and why is it wrong or on this place. It's like I'm talking to like a 4-year-old. Yeah, that's like a grand person, a older person on this place out. Yeah, I don't know, man. Someone why the older person over here should have known better because of the fact that they use the system to rub it into your face when it comes to morality, about doing right, respecting the law, all sorts of stuff from left to up my side. They still chose to then go off and like employ into illegal activity to go off and like fry their ears of somebody, and then falsely try to like narrate a story to like falsely accuse somebody of a crime, and then falsely waste the system resources and tax money to then go off and like falsely put the person inside a facility owned by the government just so they could claim that their money is not going to vice. Also, the money is not going to alcohol. You were a fun one into like all annoyance, into like all madness, that's all, but you're not that hard. That's all. I try to tell that nigga like, yo, listen, yeah, real hard niggas like myself here, and I tell you that, yo, yeah, we're like the air assault niggas over here that they drop from the sky, they then go off like fall like cannonballs into the ground over here. That's all. And by the time we don't know whether or not we'll die, but dude, you're in front of some of these niggas on the special side. Yeah, you're from my assault. That's why I kept on telling the nigga over here that he's in front of my assault over here. So I'm in assault mode over here. So nobody can tell me nothing because nobody's down there on the ground taking care of my assault for me on the special. Yeah, apparently nobody can take on the job, nothing like that. So somehow I'm there in the middle of the assault over here, being the one doing the assault while everybody else is elsewhere doing other shit around the special. And then this little thing fucking shows up in front of me, and then I'm like, yo, get out the way, homie. This is a dangerous place where you're going to get hit by the assault. All right, there's none listen. So I did what I did. Of course, especially I assaulted it, and I did a good job at it, and it's dead.